Vega origin story. My dad fought my uncle. My uncle getting the best of him.
Uh-huh.
My dad bit his finger off. My uncle's got 9.
Welcome back to the pod. Merry Christmas. My name's Kenny. Here with my co-host, Matt.
Feliz Navidad. Osise. You know what that means? That's Greek for how are you, bitches? What's up, guys? Merry Christmas. Christmas episode. So yeah, what does Kenny want for Christmas? What does Kenny want for Christmas? That the world needs to know.
A wish list that I know I'm not getting, but it's just because it's unattainable. In California, I want a 2011, a Staccato P 2011. It's a handgun. It's about $3,000, and you can't buy them in California. So
you could you drive there, get it, come back?
Not legally. There are loopholes in California. They have something called the interfamilial transfer, which is one way to get it, and they have police officers in California can buy any handgun, and if they choose that they don't want that handgun anymore, they can sell it after they've owned it. They're allowed to do that, I think, up to 2, maybe 3 times per year.
So what you're saying is you need someone on the podcast who's a police officer.
Yeah, but
you're going to give them the money. They need to buy it, then say they don't want it, and then sell it back to you.
But anybody that buys a Staccato wants a Staccato. So,
but they don't have the cash, but you're paying them. You have to be a cop you trust.
Yeah.
And they can't find any of those. No, joking. We like the cops.
Got a lot at our gyms.
A ton.
But yeah. I'd like a 2011.
What I would like for Christmas is you got like a Corvette. One of these days I'm going to get one of those.
Yeah.
Been wanting one of those for a while.
Those new C8s are kind of gangster.
They're kind of gangster. God, they're so nice.
They're a good looking car.
So I definitely want one of those. That's not happening this year. It might happen this year. Who knows, dude? I was looking into chains for like necklaces. I was looking into watches. I'm kind of trying to get into watches.
I like the watch. My wife got me a nice watch last year.
To me, it's like hard to think about what you want for Christmas. I want my kids to have a good Christmas.
Yeah.
So like I kind of ball out December to remember. I'm always trying to get. And right now, this elf.
Yeah.
You do the elf thing here?
Yeah. Trudy's floating around here somewhere.
My elf brings gifts every day.
Yeah.
25 gifts. My wife's like, we did the drew on your face or I pooped in Skittles or whatever.
Yeah.
She's over that. She's like, I feel like the elf should bring her something every day, a little trinket. And then big Christmas. I'm like, that's more presents. So yeah, the elf has been bringing toys every day.
My kid's obsessed with little things.
Squishies.
Squishies, rocks. She's into like different rocks, leaves. If we're out and about, she's always holding on to something. It's been since she was a baby. So my wife got her an advent calendar that has like a different rock or crystal in it for every day. And like what kind of a rock she pulls it out. She's like, oh, look, it's a tiger quartz. And she's like super into these rocks and whatnot. She's got a whole stack of them and she wants to make jewelry out of them and all kinds of stuff.
Okay. That's better than the freaking advent calendar. That got sent in my TMs on the freaking group chat. We talked about that.
I thought you were going to talk about Thurman Merman and his advent calendar.
Yeah. So there's not really much I really want for Christmas, Obviously, I've like health and, wealth and, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Wife's butt in the air more. I don't know. It's all good. My life's pretty good. I'm pretty blessed and I'm very fortunate. I think this dog comes and sits with me at the podcast now. It's like my new thing. Was it Charlie?
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. How's it going? Anyways. And Charlie doesn't like people, supposedly.
No. He's an antisocial dog. So the fact that 3 episodes in a row now, he's just sat up there with you is pretty trippy.
It's the new thing. So let's get into some talks here. Best stocking stuffer ideas for friends and family who train. This is for you ladies who have a guy who trains, or if you dudes who are listening who have your chick who trains. And if you do have a chick who trains and you're not training, get in the class, guys.
Finger tape? I feel like you can never have enough finger tape. Some people don't tape their fingers. I'm a finger taper. So I can never have enough. One roll makes me through like maybe a week. So
I have finger taped. My wife bought me a thing for stocking, a bunch of finger tape, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. I used it, but then I never bought any more. So I'm not a guy who likes the finger tape too much, but that's definitely a good stocking stuffer.
Defense soap.
Defense soap. Not a sponsor yet. Defense soap is good.
Yeah.
Anything like that. If you're gonna buy something like a gi for your husband or for your wife, what do you recommend and what don't you recommend?
Go buy the right size, because returning gis is kind of a pain in the ass. Especially
some people don't even allow it.
Yeah. So definitely make sure you're buying the right size. And then I would say if it's a gift, unless you really know this person like super well, what they're into gi wise, stick with the traditional black, white, or blue color.
Black, white, or blue.
Don't get them the fucking bright red with the yellow piping on it.
Yeah, don't give them the Ken or the freaking, Goku color gi.
Yeah. Unless they've made mention like, oh, I really want this, but it's going to sell out, or you know what I mean, something like that. Don't just buy them traditional color, because I don't know. My wife bought me a gi. She bought me a really nice Moya gi when I first started jiu-jitsu years ago, and I was a white belt, and I don't like wearing white gi with white belt, so I never wore it. And so she always gave me shit like, you hate the gi I bought. It's dope. I just didn't want to wear it with a white belt. And then I made the mistake of like, it was too long and I could have shrunk it more. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to tailor the sleeves. And we have a sewing machine and whatnot. I'll just do it here. And sewing gi material is way different than like anything else. So I cut the sleeves and, we were going to like hem it up. But then the way that gi sleeves taper, when I cut it back like 1.5 inches, now it was like a wizard sleeve. And I'm like, I can't do that. So
wizard.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck this. So I basically ruined a really dope gi that she bought me a couple years ago. And I'm super bummed because it would look so dope now as a blue belt.
I personally am always been a quantity over quality guy. So like, say there's these gi brands out there that are like $300. These big brands, these Moyas, these Shoei rolls, you can spend a lot of money. I'd rather have $250 gis.
Yeah.
And then one gi. That's 2 gifts. Right. That's sweet. Because if a guy's into jiu-jitsu, he's training more than one a week.
Yeah.
So now he's got his gis, 2 gis he probably already has, and you just hooked him up 2 more. Now he's got 4 gis. You just hooked him up with a nice little, get him 2 gis at a lower price rather than one really expensive gi.
Right.
To me, I feel like that is smart.
Shameless plug for, homies of the pod. A La Malavita custom rash guard.
Those are cool.
Would be dope for the holidays. Their name on it. Maybe there's school on the back.
You could even like put something on the shoulder like, don't fuck with him. It's my man.
Yeah. That's my dick, Antonio.
Yeah. Anything you want on there. Those custom rash guards.
Yeah. So
these Santa hats, by the way, we just got hooked up. Your wife brought us Santa hats for the Christmas episode, which your boy loves Christmas. Are gonna look really, really funny if we do some real motivational clips here that get a lot of shares. And it's just people want to share it so bad, and they're just like, these dudes are in Santa hats. So every reel,
inspirational Christmas reels.
Every reel that we make out of this is gonna have Christmas music to it. I'm just letting you know that right now. And I'm not holding back. I'm holding Mariah Carey. I'm bringing out freaking all the bangers are coming out.
Nat King Cole,
freaking Wham. They're all coming out, dude.
But yeah, I would say more stocking stuff or just gift idea stuff in general. I think a lot of recovery shit gets overlooked. So like my wife and I bought this cupping system from Amazon. I think it was like $30 or $40. And it was just like a bunch of cups and pumps, and we like do cupping on each other's backs and whatnot.
2 girls coming?
Slightly different. A little less shitty.
A little shitty, okay.
But if you're into recovery and whatnot, you've ever had a massage with cupping or whatnot, cupping's the shit. Those you see them on Amazon. You see them at like Walmart and Dick's Sporting Goods and whatnot. Those they look like a double hook. It's like in the shape of an S, and it's got like balls on the end of it and whatnot. You can put them in your back and really like dig into the muscles.
I've had cupping done one time and it was fantastic. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I had all these like circles on my body, looked like a squid for a couple of days.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, the girl who did it to me passed away.
Oh,
and it wasn't Ron. But
Ron didn't kill her.
Ron didn't kill her, but this girl did pass away, unfortunately, and she did a great job. RIP to her. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cupping set. So, and then we've got like a Theragun type thing. And you know what I bought when I was having these this gnarly sciatic issue for a long time, for like a couple months. It was bad. And I went to a chiropractor, which I'm normally not my thing, but my wife's really talked me into it. I was like, fuck it, I'll go. And sure shit, dude fixed it. Like within a couple days after leaving, it was gone. But he put me on this thing called a TENS machine. You ever?
TENS unit, yeah.
Yeah. So I bought like a portable one from Amazon. It's like cheap. It's like $30 or something like that. Comes with like 4 pads. And I'll just stick that on and I'll just crank it up as high as I can like physically stand.
Right.
Dude, the shit.
TENS units are sick.
Yeah.
Definitely a good gift. That's a great gift. Yeah, I think recovery stuff is overlooked. Compression shorts.
Yeah.
Like I know you're buying him the 3-pack of fucking Target underwear and all that kind of shit. But hey, buy him some nice compressions for under his fucking no geeks kits. Those are overlooked. So compression shorts, that'd be good. Wrist tape. A new belt, and I'm not saying a new rank.
Yeah.
But if there's better quality belts than the belts that they have. Usually promotions, you're going to get like no slade to them, but you're going to get a breakpoint gi, a breakpoint belt, and it's not going to be a high quality belt. So like upgrade your belt. If you get new promoted, upgrade your belt to something nice for your stripes on it.
Right.
And also don't be afraid to put stripes on it if you've already had those stripes. Like the professor really doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, we talked about
that before. But say your significant other is like 3 stripes or 4 stripes on his current belt. Well, I mean, he can't wear it yet, but buy him the new color belt and a badass one. So it's already on deck.
Right.
There's no problem in having the belt ready to go.
I did that. I bought as a present. I knew belt promotions are coming up. I knew I was probably going to get a blue belt. I bought a level black gi and a level black blue belt, and I said I cannot have this until I hit blue belt. And then when I got my blue belt, I opened it up and I
don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's called visualizing what's coming.
Yeah,
and that's good. Vision board, baby. What do we got?
The balance of training and life around the holidays
can be tough because a lot of in-laws and people are visiting, and if you have a job like mine where it's super busy.
Right.
Like it's hard to get into freaking classes when you're during the holidays. But I mean, and then kids go on vacation and they're home and it ruins your freaking morning training because now you have kids with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can get thrown into it.
You just got to get it in when you can.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu kind of slows. Like no-gi rolls is over now. It's gi season, thank God. But it's like, it kind of slows down during the holidays. So you just kind of like, there'll be some more open mats and like gyms are like, you know what I mean? You just kind of squeak one in when you can. Sometimes you can't train a lot during the holidays. But I think that it goes on based on what job you have.
You could do things too at home to kind of like supplement some of that training and whatnot. I mean, work out, do a kettlebell workout or something like that. Like try to stay in shape. You know what I mean? Don't just slack off for 3 weeks during the holidays and come. You're going to, you can if you want, but you're going to regret that shit when you go back to class.
What about like, what are your thoughts on like bringing your kid to jiu-jitsu while you train?
It depends on the age. You know what I mean?
I used to bring my daughter. I haven't brought my son yet, but I used to bring my daughter and she'd be even in a little carrier and I'd set it on the edge of the mat. Not on the edge of the mat, but like off the mat, but like on the side right there.
Right.
I'd freaking put some music on for her.
Right.
And I'd be like, this is my square right here. This is where I'm going to be the whole day.
Yeah.
And so, I'm rolling and my rolls aren't as good because every 2 seconds I'm looking over like, what's she doing?
Right.
But like, you're a higher belt. Of course you can like look while you're rolling. But like, I'm like, at least I'm getting my training in.
Right.
It's not quality training. Now my daughter will go, let's give her an iPad. She'll go and she'll just be on her thing playing her games.
Yeah.
Coolest thing though, I saw, she was not watching the iPad. She was watching her dad roll.
That's cool.
And like completely invested.
Yeah.
And really into it. And so like she really wants to train. It's going down this year, guys.
Hell yeah.
You know, get her a gi, a little nickname on the back, pink, whatever. I don't care.
I took my kid to an open mat once at Dedicated, and Zach was there. And Zach is one of the kids' teachers, so he knows my daughter well. And she brought a gi as well, just in case. You know, I didn't know if any kids were going to show up or anything like that. There's a lot of kids at her school, so no, nobody did. But then Zach like got her dressed in her gi, and he like did some little play rolls with her and whatnot. And she was all stoked on it.
Zach ain't got his purple belt yet, right?
No.
He's what we're warning you about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, wait till that purple belt energy comes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Zach's the one I'm warning you guys about.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like the guy, oh, you mean the purple? Hey, Zach's the guy. That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good with kids, and oh, he helps so and so much. And next thing you know,
he's also shredded as fuck.
right? That's the purple belt energy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the purple belt that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll fuck you up.
Yeah, and he's like 23 or 20.
No,
or 18.
Fucking 18.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out Zach.
shout out Zach. That's the energy you're gonna fear for if your chick is training and you're not, or if your chick's taking your kid to jiu-jitsu and you never go watch your kid do jiu-jitsu and like claim your chick.
Yeah. Well,
There's your problem.
if that's you, you probably aren't listening to this podcast. So
Yeah, probably not. You're probably like, no, I'm
you're
at
not
class.
even catching
dude.
this warning.
I'm at class. What were we talking about? I don't remember what we were talking about.
Just training around holidays.
Yeah, that's it. Like just, you might have to take your kid. You might have to like, fit it in when you can. You might have to like train at a buddy's garage who's got mats or
Right.
like, there's just going to be different things, so you're just going to have to be like kind of fluent with, or like be fluid
Yeah.
with your training. Because it's not going to be as scheduled as it normally would be.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Eye catching and effective takedowns and submissions you can pull on your drunk uncle after he's been running his mouth at the Christmas dinner table.
Okay.
Eye catching because you want to impress your family. You know what I mean? You don't want to head and arm the guy
No.
because they're going to be like, what happened? He just looked like he was hugging him and then he just went to sleep.
I mean, the hip toss.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. If you see Uncle
Like a cigar, or
Uncle
whatever,
Frank
whoop,
flying through the air.
that's good.
Yeah. A rear naked's always good because you can almost like have it and then like talk shit, but
you
also
want to
look
make
at
a statement at dinner? Put him to sleep.
yeah. Oh,
Don't
yeah.
expect a tap.
Yeah. If he's wearing a Christmas sweater, hit him with the bow and arrow.
Oh, bone arrow and a Christmas sweater. If he's wearing, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, ho ho sleep.
Oh yeah, ho night, dude. Yeah, just definitely, arm drag to the back. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to pull guard.
No.
Don't pull guard on your uncle who's like,
Yeah.
"Are you doing that pajama dancing?"
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're pulling guard.
I wrestled in high school.
Yeah,
Hey,
no.
you know
You
what? You know what? Duck under. Maybe shoot a solid single on him. High
If
crotch
you
single.
wrestled in high school, you might want to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. He might not have wrestled since high school though, too. So he might know, but he probably doesn't have the speed there anymore.
I don't know.
He also might be front heavy at this point.
I'm
so.
fucking scared shitless of my uncle.
Yeah.
I have an uncle, and he's been the superior alpha of the Vegas side for years. And there are legit stories of my uncle just running through dudes,
No
putting
shit.
hands on them at like bars and shit, and just as they come one by one, just taking them all out.
Did you tell him you knocked out a Meta Militia guy?
I don't know if he knows that, but like I've got a notch on my belt. But no,
I
but
don't know
like,
if you know this,
but he's like got like folklore stories.
no shit.
And like, I'm like, oh, I'm a black belt now,
Yeah.
Like, I fucking, like, he's 52, Like,
You also did a little MMA too. So
I
you
did some fighting,
Yeah.
You
You gotta.
that's like, hey, man, I'm here. But like, I just heard these stories my whole life.
Yeah.
He's still like, and he's shredded.
Oh, no
He's
shit.
still great shape. He's like the fucking alpha of the Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, there's no debate. Played pro baseball, whatever. He's a fucking gangster. I'm like, I don't know. I might not. Like, I'm not gonna bark up that tree. Period. I'm not gonna try. That one, we're never gonna find out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking pull guard on him. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't fucking, I don't know, man. I have to throw some like hot potatoes in his face or some shit first. But I ain't messing with him.
I don't have any uncles. Anymore. My dad is, aside from being a giant piece of shit, he's the only boy. He has 3 sisters, and none of them are. One of them's married, and then I've got on my mom's side, both of her older brothers have passed away. So I got no.
Vega origin story. My dad fought my uncle brothers. My dad's the older brother.
Oh, really?
My uncle getting the best of him.
Uh-huh.
My dad bit his finger off. My uncle's got 9.
Shut the fuck.
Swear. That's the truth. That's the truth. My
Uncle Digits.
My uncle's got 9, dude. And he'll put that little fucking strong hand on your chin real fucking quick. He's got 9. Bit it real bad. Got it really infected. They had to take it off. He didn't like bite it off and spit it out. But like bit it so bad that it got infected and freaking.
Damn.
Yeah, crazy, dude. I got some crazy stories. I got a brother on death row.
Yeah.
Stepbrother on death row. I got freaking my dad bit my uncle's finger off. I just grew up in a real domestic problem of a fucking situation growing up as a kid. But look at me. Now I'm out here doing the BJJ Balance podcast and I'm wearing a freaking Santa hat.
So what do you do with your geese after you receive some new Christmas geese?
Well, it depends. So I'm going to I don't like to get rid of my geese.
Really?
I'm probably sitting on almost 20 geese now.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Kenny just gave me a duffel bag.
Yeah. I had 11, and I'm like, I wear 4 to 5 of them. You know what I mean? I probably wear like 3 a week.
Kenny just gave me literally a duffel bag full of geese.
I give you 3 geese
that don't fit me that I gotta find for people. So 6 a.m. boys, if you hit me up on Wednesday,
there's some A3s.
I got some A3s that with light use or whatever. I got geese.
They're in great shape.
Great shape geese that if you guys want to we're just looking for some extra gear. So hit me up because I can't wear A3. Not yet anyways.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like to get rid of my stuff. You're the kind of guy who can get rid of stuff. I can't get rid of shit.
I don't have a lot of room, dude. I
got a hoarding. There's a little hoarder gene in there because it's like, even if I'm the kind of guy, like I could have an Xbox and I break one of my controllers because I get mad because there's no way that I did not kill him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I lit his ass up like a fucking Christmas tree, pun intended. And he's still alive and I died.
Yeah.
And I break the controller because I just get freaking, the only time you'll ever see me really like rage mad is video games. And like, I'll keep that broken controller. I can't even get rid of the broken controller. I put tape on it.
I like video games. This is a known fact. I'm not a rager. My dad. So I grew up playing video games with my dad. My dad kicked me out of his house one time. I was probably 23, 24. MLB The Show came out on PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Took it over to his house. And I think we played the first game. It was like just kind of teaching him how to play. You know what I mean? He's always played video games. So he likes sports games. So I was like, let's just get used to the game. I was beating him like 7-2 or something like that in baseball. So we restarted the game. So now you understand the play? Yeah, cool. Okay, let's start over. So I end up beating. Now I'm like actually playing. I beat him like 10-1. We didn't even finish the game. 8th inning, he rips the disc out of the PlayStation, puts it in the case, throws the case at me on the couch and goes, "Get the fuck out of my house." Kicked me out of his house. Proceeds to call me on my cell phone as I'm leaving his house and just talking shit to me, disowning me as a son.
That's some fatherly bonding, dude.
Yeah.
I fist fought my dad once.
I've had him come at me with a wrench.
My dad came at me. I had a car that I was using. I had a Mustang in high school. And my dad fucking was like, "I need to borrow the car." I'm like, "This is my car." But it was like, actually, it was my grandfather's car.
Okay.
I was like, "This is what I drive." She's like, "Well, car's broke down. I need to use it." And I'm like, "No, dude, he seniority'd me on my car. Like, whatever, dude." And so I was carless. So I had my girlfriend at the time. We're just driving around her Dodge Ram. And I see my Mustang at the Carl's Jr. parking lot. And I see a fucking tweaker ass Hammett girl driving it. One of my dad's girls.
Oh.
And I'm like, "The fuck?" And so like we follow her. She goes home. She parks it. Classic my family keys are always under the mat or up in the freaking dashboard. Nothing's ever locked. It's ranch life. I'm like, park here. I get out. I steal the car back. Take it home.
Didn't tell him?
Didn't tell him. He comes up there with 2 dudes and is like, you want to go to the dentist? And is like, literally throws down. So he comes at me, I sidestep, I'm throwing him into some rose bushes. We start fucking scrumbling. Some guy who's going to freaking has a wrench. One of his buddies to hit me with a wrench. And then my other cousin fought him.
Fuck?
And we just full on brawl with my dad and some of his tweaker buddies. Good times.
Jesus Christ.
Merry Christmas.
I was
like, what about a hug, man? You're going to throw me a hug every once in a while rather than freaking, we're just going to throw hands at each other? Like, whatever, dude.
I was in my dad's garage. All my tools were at my dad's house, and I was in my dad's garage working on my Harley, putting some bars on. And my cousin's there with me. And shout out Keith. He watches the pod. And we're sitting there, and my dad comes out in the garage, and he's wearing like DTD, like fucking like underwear, like not boxers, not boxer briefs, like underwear, but they were like aqua blue color or whatever.
Oh, and not like white PP stain underwear.
No. They were like, I don't know, like some Calvin Klein fucking like just, but kind of feminine. You know what I mean? So he pops his head out into the garage and he's saying something, and my cousin just starts dying laughing. And so I'm laughing because he's laughing, and my cousin looked, and he's like, well, my dad does not like people making fun of him or anything. He's got a real like ego problem. So he starts, what the fuck's your problem? Blah, blah, blah. And my cousin says something about, what's up with your fucking da-da-das right now? And my dad freaks out. And because I'm laughing, he picks one of a 12 millimeter wrench off of the bench and comes at me, not my cousin who said the shit, but because I'm laughing so hard, now he feels like his ego's extra bruised. And he's like in my face with this wrench. You want to go, motherfucker? Get in the front yard. He's trying to fight me in the front yard. I'm like,
if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
And I'm sitting there like, I don't want to fight my dad in his front yard in his underwear. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like,
it's hard to put hands on your father,
dude,
because you're like, dude, he's my dad. He's gonna kick my ass. What the fuck? But then you realize, oh, you ain't been fucking in the weight room every day like me after school.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're in trouble, dude. This is not. He knew that day that was trouble.
Yeah, that was the end of it. Was that the end of the shit?
Yeah, after I freaking Uchi'd him into the dam. So there's your answer.
Yeah.
The Uchimata. Like I fucking, and I didn't even know what that was. I fucking just came at me and I freaking sidestep hip tossed him right over, right into some rose bushes.
Pre-jiu-jitsu Matt doing some judo.
Literally probably 4 months between knocking that guy out. Like your boy was just I was just doing things. Like at 19.
Yeah. Just became a fighter all of a sudden.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just like preacher. I was like, I got to get myself into some combat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my story. That I definitely, if you're going to fight your relative, you got to make it good. You got to make your mom cry. You got to make like, you know what I mean? Like it's got to be a real thing. Like it's got to be unforgettable. Like it's not going to be fun now.
Right.
It's going to be, you're horrible, but like 5 years from now,
it's going to be a good story.
It's going to be a great story. Like
Yeah.
I took my wife to the car wash last year.
Uh-huh.
We're driving. I opened the window. Not funny then at all.
She gets sprayed in your window or hers?
Hers. What the fuck? I opened the mine.
Oh, on purpose?
Yeah. The thing's going.
She's just getting whipped in the face.
Mad, what the fuck? Roll it back up. I don't know. And I've never done that before, so I don't know if the water was hot or not. So we were just kind of playing it wasn't, right? So like I remember like drying my car
chemical
off.
burns.
I remember drying my car off after doing this, and it's never like hot water. So I'm like, I'm assuming it's not. So I just opened the window on her, like probably for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. Like it just lit her up, and she was pissed, and she's still kind of mad about it. But like the other day we brought it up. I was like, remember that time at the car wash? I freaking opened, and then like she's like, yeah. She kind of laughed, and my daughter thinks it's hilarious because she was in the back seat. She thought it was funny. So like, it's a good story. So it's like, yeah, make it memorable. If you're gonna fight your uncle, make it memorable.
My wife would literally murder my wife. Her great grandmother
Died in a car wash. Tell me.
No, she had like 8 husbands.
Oh hell yeah.
Because they all died.
Oh, Black Widow.
She has newspaper articles. My wife has newspaper clippings.
You can literally visit her at the fucking Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. She's the story. She's the lady up top. That
She got the highest kill streak imaginable.
My mom's married 5 times. A lot of her husbands passed away too.
Yeah.
3 of them. 3 of 5.
Questionable. Hers were all questionable. Hers were all the farmhands ended up killing the husbands. Like after another.
Yeah, that's not questionable, man.
Yeah, no, nobody's questioning that. So that's what's in my wife's DNA. So
Okay,
yeah, if I open a car window on her, I'm for sure getting stabbed in my sleep.
Yeah, my wife hated me for a while for that, dude. That was a. But I knew I was playing long game on that.
You're like, this is gonna pay off, and it's gonna be funny someday.
I was like, we already hooked up last night. I know we ain't getting a double day. You're gonna hook up with me 2 days in a row. I was like, I'm set, so let's lock it in. This is gonna be funny.
Fuck.
Well, we got questions wise.
Ronzilla grappling.
Ron killed the guy. That's what, every time he writes something, I want to write that.
What do you think about catch wrestling and sambo?
I think it's cool. I think any martial art is great.
Yeah.
I think all martial arts were developed to be better than someone who doesn't do martial arts. I think like if you're doing high kicks and karate, those are probably good when you're back in the medieval days when you're kicking people off horses and shit. I think, catch wrestling is just wrestling and grappling. It's all the same. It's just what area of the world were you taught or where were you learning it at from a specific time.
Yeah.
So, I do a lot of catch wrestling type stuff. When it comes to like pressure and, laying people down on my fucking fist or putting my freaking shins on the back of their calves and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff like guys like Josh Burnett were like a big influence on like guys I watch movesets from.
Didn't he win ADCC or some shit like that?
Josh Burnett has won a lot of stuff. I know he's the first person to tap out freaking Dean Lister in 16 years.
Yeah.
It's like, does the bulldog choke and stuff like that. So like, there's a lot of stuff that I like catch wrestling. Sambo, it was big in leg attacks.
Yeah.
So like to say the shit on that stuff would be stupid because all that stuff is effective. Like, look at Khabib. Look at Fedor. Fedor's a Sambo guy. Arguably one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. So the shit on Sambo would be dumb. The shit on wrestling would be dumb. I'm not a small-minded person where I'm like, jiu-jitsu only.
Right.
No, it's just not who I am.
I think they're all interconnected to an extent. You know what I mean? I'm willing to bet that somehow you could trace the origins back to like early, Greece, that style wrestling, and somehow maybe that made its way to Japan or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of travel.
It's like I'm not going to shit on judo because I like only jiu-jitsu is the best. Like I know jiu-jitsu comes from judo.
I'm just now starting to get. I don't know.
Watch what you say.
No. I'm saying
because they're going to come
does anybody have any like book recommendations on like maybe like the like origins of jiu-jitsu from the judo aspect or anything like that?
Kenny up in the DMs. Don't hit me up in the DMs because I don't give a fuck.
I don't mind reading.
I don't read.
Yeah.
I don't read, dude. I'm unless it's got pictures. I don't even proofread the subtitles when I freaking post when I put freaking words on my freaking 100% reels.
Do that.
I'm like, whatever, dude. They'll figure it out. It's like, that's not OS at all.
The subtitles in the video editing software that I use, it's like a AI type thing. It always spells jiu-jitsu wrong. So I have to go back and correct jiu-jitsu all the time.
Is there anything I should say different instead of jiu-jitsu to make your job easier?
No, it's not hard.
You can't just like pick like this word is always this.
I have to look into that. I haven't looked into that at all. Question number 2 from eHip61. Why is it acceptable and common for people to pronounce the L's in guillotine or guillotine?
I think it's just because people, I don't know, people just freaking don't pronounce things right.
Matt sent me this question about a week ago.
Tell me, you had a deep intake on it.
I
Because my man is a nerd.
I wrote him a fucking dissertation.
I was like, oh, fuck, I got to read. I was like, I'll get to this later, dude. Where's the cliff notes?
Oh, here we go. Because rolling double L's are not a part of the English language. English speakers pronounce it wrong, but since it's been pronounced wrong for so long, the wrong pronunciation has been adopted as a correct secondary pronunciation. There you go. That's why.
Yeah, the English language, like
you're welcome,
is trash. So like people just pronounce things wrong, and plus things mean multiple things. Like os means everything. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I don't know, guillotine is how it should be pronounced.
You know what? Tony, our first guest, he wrote me about the origins of os and how it comes from Japan. And it was osu, O-S-U.
Mm-hmm.
And it he gave me like a specific definition of it, of like the actual Japanese translation of it, like the meaning and everything.
What does it mean? Fuck yeah.
We could Google it real quick.
I think it's like a respect, or like, I think os means fuck yeah.
Osu meaning in Japanese. It's a common Japanese word that's often used as a casual greeting, similar to saying hello or hi in English.
I hate it. Well, we just kind of ran with it in the jiu-jitsu community then.
Yeah. Early Japanese origins, it was good morning.
Oh, fucking bonjour. Good morning from Japan.
So imagine your professor doing a move and you're just like, good morning.
Good morning. Guy takes a shit. Good morning.
I got her number. Good morning. Amv, does the best professor matter or the competitors, practitioners of a gym, debating on one of two?
What does that mean?
I think when I was reading it, I kind of questioned the same thing. Just the structure of the question's a little off. I think he means, if you have a professor that's like a world champion, does that matter more than like maybe a professor that's not a world champion, but he coaches world champion athletes?
I think it matters from two different aspects. If you have a world champion professor, you're going to have a lot of good ass training partners.
Right. Well, see, we kind of briefly spoke about this in an older pod, and not everybody can teach, you know? I mean, even I think if you're a black belt, you may be skilled and you may be a fucking savage, but maybe I think there's people out there like, okay, case in point, Danaher. I don't think Danaher has any like world titles under his belt, but he's arguably the best jiu-jitsu coach.
Yeah. I mean, he's on there. He's in the conversation. He's who you're talking about. All these guys who have, Kavanaugh and freaking these guys in MMA that have like, are great coaches.
Right.
Jackson, Winklejohn, all those guys. They're not like
Firas Zahabi.
How many MMA fighters are good championship coaches, have championship guys? Coaching and competing are two different things. Usually the best competitors, they are so involved in their own bodies and their own journey that they don't have time. But when you feel like guys like even Bill Belichick for the Patriots, he came out the other day in his interview, and I'm not a fan of the Pats, but he said, I was playing football my whole life and I realized I wasn't very good for the next level. So I didn't want to leave the game. So I got into coaching. There's two different skill sets. Coaching and competing, or being a high level competitor, two different skill sets.
Right.
So when you find someone who can do both, then you got yourself a unicorn, and that's where you need to be. Fortunately, me, shout out to my professor who just won the worlds again, Nogi, world champ, ultra heavyweight, won it again. And he's a great professor.
Yeah.
Leo Vera, same thing. World champion, also great professor.
You've done Buchecha seminars.
Great teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great teacher. His seminars are freaking awesome. One of the few seminars where I was like, wow.
Do you think that's a byproduct of just the Checkmate lineage? Not to Pat.
It could be, but like also I've seen Gordon Ryan's seminars, and I've seen you're going to learn some badass shit from these guys.
Yeah.
But I also want to know, can these guys show up? Are they going to want to show up on a Saturday morning to watch you go at 8:50 a.m.?
Yeah.
Or are they going to be in the ice bath?
So my
getting ready for their next fight, you know what I mean? Like
my buddy David, that we'll eventually have on the pod, he moved to Austin a couple of years ago, and he trains at Dan Kennedy's Tim Kennedy School, and the head instructor there, it's a Gracie Humata school. The head instructor there is Giancarlo Bedoni, and so that's his teacher. So he's got a world champion, and
can't beat that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that sparks the question: is we haven't seen Keenan Cornelius competing in a while, right? Is it because he's so into Legion and is he doing a lot more? See, I don't ever go to Legion. I know guys who go there sometimes cross train. Yeah. I've never been, so I don't know how it is in his classes. I see a lot of guys teaching classes for his gym, but like, is it maybe he's so involved in his professoring now
Right.
that like he's, not high level competing, because it's hard to do both.
Right.
It's hard to be the guy who's like, I got to get my ice bath. I got to eat this. I got to eat this. I'm not worried about some, Jeff's fucking Jiu-Jitsu World League fucking fight at Saturday morning.
Right.
I'm going to get adjusted. I'm, diet here, there. I got a photo shoot. Like, it's hard to be high level. To be both is very, very difficult. So to me, I think it's more important to have a good professor.
Right.
But honestly, the name of a guy is going to bring in good rounds.
Yeah.
But starting off, a good professor can really teach you, and who's really down for the cause.
Right.
The gym is his life.
Right.
Your success helps build his brand. You posting podium photos of gold medals helps build his gym. That's more important to me from as being in the game for a while now. That's more important to me than actually having a school of somebody who like used to be in the UFC or whatever.
I think a good example of exactly this guy's question would be you've got in Austin, you've got, New Wave. So you've got Danaher, that's your coach. That's your, that's your world champion coach right there. And then you've got the B team, and it's like, it's essentially a school made up of all high level competitors. And there really isn't like,
there's not a head coach
there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They have guys come in and show shit, and then they all train.
Right.
And I think there's two different ways to do it. And I think that's more of like a wrestling room mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's a good example.
That's more of like a wrestling room, American style training room.
Right.
Where Danaher's still an old school throwback jiu-jitsu style training style.
Yeah.
I think that's the two differences. And whatever you prefer, like I said, you go to B team, you're going to get a lot of fucking rounds.
Right.
And you're going to get smoked until you can't, till someday you're like, wow, I didn't get smoked this hard.
I think the answer to his question then would be, I think it depends on how you learn. Some people need to be taught, step by step from an individual instructor and have somebody to bounce those questions off of. And some people are, on the fly learners, and they learn by doing. So maybe if you are surrounded by a bunch of killers that are, constantly on the mat, and the class structure is like some technique, a lot of rolls, and then afterwards some hanging out and some like, hey, can you show me that again? Like maybe that's your better bet if that's how you learn.
Right. Good question, bro. Good question at MV.
I think that's it, man.
All right, man. What are you thinking? So is you thinking what I'm thinking, bro?
Jump off the sleigh and dive into the bushes.
Dive into the bushes, fucking no pants on. See you guys next time, guys. Oh.